Maria, if you want to go ahead and with your invocation, please.
Work and not our own. May we see this meeting time as a way of serving you. We pray these things in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
All right, first order of business, call to order of the workshop.
Yes, sir. Vice Chairman, Directors, workshop item number 1 is a presentation on toll exemptions and/or discounts for emergency vehicles and disabled veterans. We have Andrew Cadmus with HDR Engineering here to make a presentation to the board. And this is one of the items that the board is going to, before we become operational, is going to have to decide as a matter of policy for these items.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi,
My name is Andrew Cadmus with HDR. I can give you some of the background if you'd like while they're working on getting that presentation up and running. In operating a toll road in Texas, there's a couple of decisions that can be made regarding discounts and exemptions being allowed on the roadway. Those decisions are governed by the legislation as state legislation, as well as your bond covenants. So first, discounts and exemptions are generally enabled through the state legislation. It allows any board governing these facilities to waive or require payment of a toll, and may authorize the payment of a reduced toll for any vehicle or class of vehicle. There's additional legislation that goes into more specifics there that requires discounts or exemptions for peace officer and disabled veterans, disabled peace officers and veterans. So if discount programs or exemptions are provided, these must also be considered and provided. So there's a couple of statutes that govern the use of those elements. So again, required is an exemption for emergency vehicles, and those are pretty well defined in legislation, as well as military vehicles. The optional components are what we are here to discuss, whether we provide discounts or exemptions to disabled veterans, retired or disabled law enforcement, transit vehicles, high occupancy toll vehicles, and others. Of course, there is also our bond covenants that govern here, which do allow you all to make a decision regarding these exemptions, and it just requires that our traffic and revenue consultant review any exemptions or discounts provided, and that obviously we need to be in compliance with legislation. You can see over there on the far right how emergency vehicles are defined. There's quite a number of them, but it's pretty well established in the state in operations. A few different examples here. TxDOT provides veteran discount programs. Central Texas Regional Mobility Authority also provides it. Cameron County provides a veteran discount program, and so does Harris County. The only ones that really don't within the state are privately owned and run facilities. NTTA is the only public one that I saw that does not offer it, but they do offer it through, because their bond covenants don't allow it, but they do offer it through sponsorships. They get private donors to cover certain types of veteran disabled vehicles. As we've discussed before, we are moving forward with an agreement with Cameron County RMA for them to process all of the tolls on the back end, what we call the back office system. With that, there's an opportunity to simply adopt the same policies that CCRMA has in how they treat disabled veterans and also emergency vehicles and peace officers. So obviously our neighbor provides this to the veterans. They also provide an exemption for what they call extraordinary veterans. So those are things like Purple Heart eligible recipients. CCRMA has a pretty robust program already in place for people to apply for and get this exemption, where you need to first qualify through going to the DMV and getting a license plate for a disabled veteran, and then sharing that license plate registration, as well as a letter from the VA confirming eligibility for a disabled veteran license plate. So the decision before you all here is whether to provide these discounts and exemptions to drivers of the 365 tollway. The staff is recommending that we provide qualified veterans the discount program following CCRMA's guidelines. Obviously, it's allowed under statute. It does not conflict with the bond covenants, and it does support and recognize the sacrifice of our veterans. Any questions about that program?
Please.
Do you have any analysis, any numbers of what the projections were for revenue? And then is this a 1% discount on an annual basis overall? Is it 2%? What's it average out to? What do you think?
Oh, we discussed this with the traffic and revenue consultant. It is quite small. It is less than 1%. And within the traffic and revenue study that was conducted, there was about a 1% allowance for discounts and exemptions. So it's already built in essentially to the program. It's tied to the veteran and their personal vehicle. The vehicle must be registered in that veteran's name and in order to be eligible. So this does not apply to commercial vehicles, for example. Correct. Right.
Is this program marketed in any way or put out to the public?
It is advertised on, well, for example, on CCRMA's website. Yes, they do notify people of the program. I don't know that if it's marketed any more broadly than that, but all of those different agencies that I discussed have a fairly robust website describing the program and how eligibility and how to apply.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you, Andrew. So we'll adjourn the workshop, be allowed and call the meeting to order.
Yes, sir.
Do we have a quorum?
You do have a quorum.
Any public comment?
We do not have any public comment.
The floor is yours.
Okay.
Actually, the floor is the chairman's, I guess.
Chair-
There's a
chair-
chairman's report. Chairman, can you hear me?
Okay, Vice Chairman, Directors, and the next item is staff reports. Item 2A is report on program management activity for the 365 tollway. I'll go ahead and give that report real quick. In your packet, you have the development activities report. First item is the overweight permits. If you look at the monthly report, this is for the month of February 2026. We've in the current, it reads current year, but it should say current month. We've issued 4,884 permits. Just for comparison to last year, we issued 4,847, so we're slightly above last year's trend, a little under 1%, 0.75%. So we've collected $1,024,736,000. Of that, $18,632 is convenience fee, leaving a net of $1,006,104 in permit fees. And then the split is $14,652 for Pro Miles, which is our vendor, $855,188 to TxDOT. And then, so that leaves a net revenue of $136,236 for the authority. So our revenue has increased about 4% for the year to date compared to last year. And then the next one, we look at the yearly report, which is for the total current year. So as of January 1st, we've issued 10,102 permits. Compared to last year, we've issued 10,642 permits. So we're still about 5% less than last year for the cumulative first 2 months of the year. Revenues are down 2.5%, and then our net revenue is down approximately 2%. And then so the next one is the cumulative overweight report, which is from January 1st, 2014, which is when we issued the first permits, to February 28th of 2026. So for the life of the permit system, we've issued 464,616 permits. The revenue we've collected in that period is $83,762,805. But if you go down to the bottom, that has netted the RMA $10,987,017 over that 12-year period. And then finally, the last item on this report is development updates. We are still negotiating the base fees with Consor Engineers for segments A, C, E, and F. And so we've had so they've proposed some fees. We've made some counter offers. They've countered back. So we're trying to finalize those negotiations so we can present a contract to the board. And then, of course, our public outreach for the month of February is they had presentation at Far Bridge Connect, which was on the 26th of February. And then the Mexico Industry Magazine interview, which was conducted on March the 6th, 2026. And so that was Ruben Alfaro gave an interview and to get some information out there on our overweight permits and our project development. And I'll answer any questions you may have.
Elon, if you can, I think I had made a recommendation to visit with RGV Business Journal. If you can make sure that happens also, please. They
Yes,
had
sir.
a nice report, I think it was maybe about 3 weeks ago, and it talked about the overweight trucking, that we weren't building enough roads, et cetera, and it was a perfect inlet for us.
Yes, sir.
know? And I sent it over to, I think, to
To
Ruben.
Ruben.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. I'll follow up on that, but I
Thank
believe he has reached out to them.
wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the next item on the agenda is item 2B, which is a report on construction activity. Ramon Navarro will give you a report on construction activity for the 365 toll.
Good afternoon, Board, Vice Chair, members of the Board. For the record, my name is Ramon Navarro IV, and I'm the Chief Construction Engineer for the Hidalgo County Regional Mobility Authority. Here to provide you a brief overview of our two concurrent construction projects, all having to do with the 365 toll project. As you know, the project consists of 12.5 miles going from the Anzalduas port of entry to the FAR port of entry. This initiated back in, we let the bid back in November of 2021. Then we also incorporated a toll collection system or toll integration project into this, and that is all of the mechanisms that will be collecting the fees and the tolls for the authority. This project was let in July of, or issued notice to proceed on July 6th of 2023. It was let at a construction cost of approximately $14 million. To date, we have hold on here. There we go. It's a little small. But to date, we have paid out approximately 32 invoices. And that total is approximately 5.2 million. I had that noted here because it happened to me the last time. $5.7 million. All of that is in the actual construction of the toll assembly or the equipment and the gantries, et cetera. We are currently in negotiations. We have received a change order for approximately $1 million for delays and overhead administrative costs. We're currently working with HDR and negotiating that through CISA and PCI. We don't think it's going to be that big of a delta due to the fact that we are asking for credits as we have removed some of the operations that are incorporated into the contract as far as the back office and the picture reviews, et cetera. We are coming forth with the board with those recommendations. Hopefully we'll have that wrapped up by next meeting and we'll be able to present that to you. All in all, the impact is due to the fact that we had to extend the initial operation date from January of 25 to January of 26. We're shooting for an operational date of October 26th of this year. And I think the board and the staff should stay focused on October due to the fact that if there are additional extensions to this, we can directly affiliate those deltas with the contractor and have that ease in doing so. I'll go into a little more detail on the construction project on some of the challenges that remain on there. But all in all, for the month of March, we have been doing concurrent reviews. The factory acceptance tests were successful. We've been doing the back office designs and the programming, and we're still initiating installation of items in the field as far as the cameras, et cetera. Any questions on the toll integrator project? Before we move on to the 365 heavy highway project.
More or less, where will we be, or when will we be ready to start bringing in the HCRMA and the actual their platform to start running tests and things like that? I know we already met with them in December, HCRMA, but I know we're going to go back, et cetera. And
we're still working out.
All I heard from them was we need to do this sooner than later.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of work.
We're still working out the intricacies of the agreement with HECTRA, through HCRMA, coming back to the RMA, HCRMA. Those we hope to have finalized before the end of the month. We're very close to reaching final negotiations. We also have to entertain CISA because of our PCI, because now the back office operations, as mentioned, are going to be removed from the CISA outfit and provide it over to Hectra, which would give us a cost savings. However, the program has been designed and built for CISA's back office operations, and now it needs to be integrated to be able to communicate directly with the Hectra back office. So there is a small expense incorporated into that, and those are some of the details and the intricacies that we're trying to negotiate and work out. Unfortunately, we have a looming ending or finalizing finish date looming over the project, and that of course incorporates additional administrative fees, and it makes it hard to set a rate or agree to a rate when we don't have a target or a bullseye to aim at. But we are working closely with PCI on that, and as mentioned, I'll go into detail a little further on the next report. Any other questions affiliated with the tolling project? Moving on to the heavy highway project. Whoa. Did we? Okay, moving on to the heavy highway project, we issued notice to proceed on March 17th of 2022. This project was issued with 1,264 calendar days as a working date. This would have established September 21st or September 23rd of 2025 as a substantial completion date. As you know, we've been implementing liquidated damages at a cost of $16,500 a day. We've continued entertaining change orders. We have processed 20 change orders to date. We remain in the red, or in the black, I should say. It's still in the delta of the 6.3 million. We initially saved off of the change order number 2, $14.7 million, and that's where we're arriving at the cost savings, is that we're still ahead slightly on that. And we've got details of each of the change orders. We've gone over each one of them. There is all of them have been finalized and endorsed for the exception of 18. There was a slight modification that was incurred by the contractor when they submitted the endorsement of the change order. We are currently in discussions requesting that be resubmitted clean as presented, and we will come back with the board with a supplemental change order or an additional change order for the San Juan Bridge. This is in affiliation to the shoring that we approved last month. The shoring and the bridge work are two totally independent items, and we need to maintain scheduling on this shoring for the San Juan Bridge and that work. So if necessary, we will recommend that we proceed with that change order 18 and do it without the contractor's consent, and formally proceed with entertain a supplemental change order that we have requested for them to submit prior to the end of this month, so that we will be prepared for the next board meeting with any supplementals that they are willing to, are going to be asking for. Ironically, this afternoon, we did get hit with a notice of change of increases due to the Iranian war. But that just goes to show you how detailed these guys are getting on us, and what they're reaching for as far as cost implications. So that's what we're dealing with. Of course, all of these.
Who are these guys?
PCI, sir. Excuse me, the contractor, Paulus Construction, sir. As noted, project production continues. We continue with the environmental justices. We did finalize and open the crossing there at Station 1247, which is the Anaya intersection. This is one of the 3 crossings that we have improvements on along the San Juan corridor. This is one of the few items that will be open to traffic. We continue working with the CRCP. This is along the San Juan route on main lanes. They're paving daily or nightly at acceptable rates of production. One good benefit is that the BSIF, our original construction project, our original phase, is being fully utilized now. The FAR Bridge is pushing traffic or truck traffic onto the BSIF. It is fully operational and functional. We had a few dates, or it was needed a little touch-up. We have improved the pavement markings and restriped the pavement markings and went out to do that improvement, as it had been some time, as it had been abandoned for a while, or not fully in use.
The BSIF connector, is that a one-way that I'm looking at here?
That is correct, sir.
Coming
It
off
comes
the
out of the
bridge?
bridge, the
Okay.
Border Safety Inspection Facility,
Yep.
pushes them down onto the 365 toll and gives them an option to go either east or west in the free route along Military Highway.
When did
Yes,
they
sir.
open that?
I believe the operations on the bridge was a couple of months, last month.
Okay.
They fully opened that as far as the phasing and the construction incorporated with the bridge improvements that they have going on at the FAR Bridge. And I'm sure Mr. Director De Lange would be able to provide you more insight on that project. As far as the summary of the project, as dated, as per the end of the month, we'll be 185 days into liquidated damages. As you know, we were in negotiations for a 395-day extension on the contract. None of this has been agreed or entered upon. There was a 208-day extension that had been granted or agreed upon. It wasn't finalized or formally accepted. Of those 208 days, they've already utilized 185 of them. That puts us at a overall summary of a remainder of approximately 210 days to our deadline that we established of October. That, converting that into months, that gives us a 7-month window to 7 months, 7 estimates with $70 million remaining, means we need to have $10.3 million estimates for these next 7 production months of production. Just to put this in perspective, the contractor has produced approximately $4 million in the last 3 months of production. So we have brought this concern to the table, and we anticipate schedules, and all of these directives and changes in contract have been formally acknowledged. However, we are requiring them to submit a work schedule with a work plan and an appropriate schedule with all of the information that needs to be submitted and accompanied with these changes. And we'll see where we go from there. But that is the task that we have before us. Like I said, we've got 7 months left after beginning into the month of April. And that concludes my report. Any questions or concerns I may entertain at this time?
Any questions? I'm hearing none. Thank you, Ramon.
Thank you.
Next item, Pilar.
Yes. Vice Chairman and Directors, the next item is the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the governing body and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. However, if discussion is desired, that item or items will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Can I get a motion? So move. I've got a motion and a second. Any questions? Discussion? No, Mike? Okay, all those in favor vote aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next item, Pilar.
Item 4A, Resolution 2026-31, consideration and approval of change order number 21 to that certain contract with Pullis Construction Incorporated for the 365 Tollway construction project. Vice Chairman and Directors, we have driveways in the project, and we did not have a bid item for driveways. The concrete driveways, excuse me, concrete, they were all asphalt driveways. And so we did not have a bid item for concrete driveways. So we do have some driveways that we do need to install as part of the project. It's in the amount of $21,923.60. Staff recommends approval of this change order.
Can I get a motion?
Pilar, can you, real quick, Pilar, can you show, one of the things that would be fantastic if we can in the future, maybe do some type of, I don't know, maybe an interactive map or something to show us exactly where this are. I'm looking at the survey here, and I understand what the survey's saying, but I don't know exactly where this is. Where is this?
This is directly across from San Luis, or along the VSIF, or San Luis connector, which is going to serve. It's our VSIF on the west side of the project.
Okay.
San Luis port.
BSIF, but on the west side,
So
okay.
It's going to be a border, it's going to be a queuing lane.
Yes, sir.
for the Bridge, the San Luis Bridge.
Okay.
This was development that or the driveway emerged due to the fact that the city of Mission had Killen come in with the development in that area. And one of the roadways that we had tying into the San Luis connector was directly affiliated with that development. And whoever served first, whoever got there first would have to build that connection. And Killen, we have to build to that roadway, which is the concrete required.
But is it because we initially just budgeted for asphalt and now we're doing concrete?
So the short answer is yes, and because we had a development come in after the project was bid, and like Ramon said, the developer got there before we did, so if he had built asphalt, then we have quantities or items in the project to match asphalt, but he came in with concrete, so now we've got to tie in with concrete.
And this doesn't require, just correct me where I am on this, but this doesn't require an increase to the Polis contract or anything? Like a max amount?
It
So that's
does, I mean, we're increasing this contract by $21,000.
Yep, then I would imagine that the next would be increase the maximum amount payable. We
So-
don't need to do that.
No, sir, this is a change order, and those are professional services,
Just professional.
just professional
Okay,
services, yes, sir.
That was my
The
question.
procedure you're referring to is for professional services. On construction projects, the change order is increasing the maximum
It's
amount of the
enough.
contract.
Okay, great.
yes.
Any other discussion? We already had a motion by Director Olivares. Can I get a second? We got a motion and a second. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next item, Pilar.
Item 4B, Resolution 2026-37, consideration and approval of agreement with AEP Texas to install electric distribution facilities for new electrical services for the 365 Tollway project. As you recall, we've been bringing these in as AEP or Magic Valley has been designing them, submitting to us. So this one is at the 365 Tollway at 10th Street. It is for a 4-inch service bore in the amount of $33,883.90. Staff recommends approval.
How many more will we have after this?
So I think two more,
Three.
three more. Yeah, three more.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next item, Pilar.
Item 4C, Resolution 2026-38, consideration approval of supplemental number 9 to work authorization number 8 to the professional service agreement with HDR Engineering Incorporated to provide a construction record keeper for the 365 Tollway project. Vice Chairman, Directors, we need an additional records keeper for the life of the project, which is approximately 10 months. And it did not make sense for us to hire an FTE for 10 months and then have to let them go. And so we asked HDR to provide us with a proposal to provide that service for us. And that is in the amount of $90,481. And so staff is recommending approval using a contract records keeper versus a full-time employee that we would have to let go at within the next 10 months. So staff is recommending approval.
$90,000 for now to October?
Yes, sir.
How much would an individual
If we were hiring in-house, about 75,000, not including fringe benefits. So this is, I mean, it's reasonable.
Can I get a motion? You got a motion? Any discussion?
We couldn't do an accounting service or?
No, sir, this is a very specialized, really, it's somebody with text dot experience and text dot records keeping, which is not like bookkeeping. It's DBE, it is Buy America, it is, what are the other?
Wage rate interviews.
Wage rate interviews. It's a lot of tasks that they perform, and you really have to be well-versed in text dot procedures for that.
I'll resend that motion then. If it's posted, Chairman.
Which item are you talking about?
The one we're discussing, yeah. The one under discussion. You want to take it under executive session or just table it for the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you making a motion to take it into executive?
Yes.
I think he's making a motion to rescind his.
Rescind the
rescind
original motion, yeah.
His motion.
And then have a discussion.
We can at least table it for now. We can discuss it in executive if we decide something different when we get back.
Is that cool?
Well, I think we just pull it into executive session. If we table it, technically, we're taking it off.
Just pull it into executive session?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is what do we have to do right now, Richie? Nothing?
Motion to move item 4C into executive session for discussion and consultation with attorney.
Yeah, I've already said that. I'll resend that motion to accept
There was no
until
second.
discussion.
What's that? Okay, so Director Ochoa has rescinded his original motion, and so now we need a motion to take this item into executive session.
Is that correct?
I think that's correct. So can I
Okay.
get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second to take this item 4C into executive session. So next item, Pilar.
Yes, sir. Well, we don't need to take action on the next item.
4D will
Yes.
also be taken.
Yeah.
Okay. So 4E, please.
Yeah, so for you, Vice Chairman, I'll turn that item over to you.
Okay. Perfect. Chairman, are you still on the line? Yes, go ahead. You've got a motion and a second, Director. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, sign. Motion carries. I believe we've got a couple of items to discuss in executive session.
Yes, Vice Chairman Director, may recommend you entertain a motion to also enter into executive session on item 6B under section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion and a second to enter into executive session. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, can I get a motion to call the meeting back to order, please?
Motion.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Let's go back to item 4C, please, Pilar.
Yes, sir. 4C is Resolution 2026-38, consideration and approval of supplemental number 9 to work authorization number 8 to the professional service agreement with HDR Engineering to provide the construction record-keeping services for the 365 tollway. Staff recommends approval in the amount of $98,481.
Make a motion as presented.
We've got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item.
Item 4D, Resolution 2026-39, consideration approval of contract amendment number 18 to the professional service agreement with HDR Engineering to increase the maximum payable amount for supplemental 9 to work authorization number 8 for the 365 tollway project. Again, this is to increase their maximum payable amount for the work authorization you just approved. Staff recommends approval.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And I get a motion to adjourn.
Yes, sir. We have no further business for your consideration.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Good night.